Right now, huh?
Before it get low.
Are we live?
Wait until we get on there.
I say yes a lot,
I
man.
don't see us, man. I see Hayden's NutriBullet that broke. There we are. I see us. Happy Wednesday, everybody. It's 1 o'clock. Y'all know what time it is. We got a fresh face around here.
Who is this, man?
Who are you?
I'm Brad Robinson, owner of iSpy Inspections. How is everybody?
It's good to have you, man. Thank you for coming on. I remember we gave you a shout out last week.
Yeah.
He texted me right after this. Stevie Z brought it up. He's like, "Why don't we get old Brad Robinson on the show?" I was like, "That is a great idea." So
Well, it worked out. It's a rainy day, so
we
it's
made
perfect.
it happen. Did you have some inspections today?
I did in Goodlettsville. It was
Never stops, does it?
no, it does
Not in this market. Well, man, thank you again for joining us. Everybody, if y'all could do us a favor, please like and share the stream. It would help us out here at GTT Homes and help old Brad Robinson out as well. So, we wanted to bring you on just to kind of pick your brain. I know it's a crazy market right now. You've probably been super busy, but I feel like it may be unclear what you do to some people. Some people may be confused on a home inspection, what kind of goes into it. So in this market, we just kind of want to pick your brain. But before we do that, just tell everybody about yourself.
Hey!
No.
It's simple, man. I'm born and raised here. My mama, she's from Tullahoma. Daddy's from here. Grandparents are from here. So I've been in Murfreesboro my whole life. And what kind of led me to home inspections was, I've been a roofer, I've been an electrician, a roughing electrician. And then I worked for State Farm for several years. So I was just trying to figure out something that could take all those experience.
Question from the
Do
audience.
you remember who your boss was making that case?
I do. Kenny Jones is my boss, but Tommy set me up and made sure I was 14, 15, 16, I was doing what I was supposed to be.
Tommy Davidson?
Yeah.
That's right.
Dang.
You used to work with old GTT doing electrical?
Yeah, well, it was Jones Electric, and they stuck me in room circuits.
Let's talk about what it's like working with him at that age.
I got yelled at a lot, not by him, but I was usually my mom. I was 14, 15 years old, wiring houses. It was a different time.
Were you drinking at 14?
No.
You weren't?
No.
Were you getting high at 16?
No.
15?
No.
At what age did you start experimenting with drugs?
Jesus, this is
How much cocaine?
Brad's Life 101.
Actually, Dr.
Yeah, this is intervention.
That's what we're really here.
Hey, let's tell the real reason.
I got a question. What was your ERA in high school?
I was around a 3. And stayed there in college.
How fast could you throw?
When?
College.
I touched 91, 92.
This is a collegiate pitcher right here.
Yeah, does everybody know you played college baseball and blew out your arm?
Yeah, well,
Blew out your life?
yeah. I'm just trying to recapture those glory days.
Damn painkillers. Where were you when the painkillers kicked in?
I was a Celebrex user in junior college, and then when I got to MTSU was when you saw those infomercials like, "Attention, Celebrex user." I was like, man, I used to pop those like Skittles. But they work. They're very
Now
good.
look, Josh Harrell is watching. Who could throw faster right now? You, Drew, or Josh? Right now. If we got a gun out.
Oh, I know I could.
You think so?
Could you hit 80?
Oh, yeah, I'd probably hit 87, 88 right now.
What, from a mound? Like,
Yeah, I haven't lost it.
Man, we ought to go somewhere one day.
I think he's got me.
What can you throw right now?
Dude, I'll be lucky to touch mid-70s, I think.
What could Josh throw right now?
Josh, I mean...
Ask him on here. Ask him,
Yeah,
see what he said.
Yeah,
Josh come in and
what
do
could you...
something
I can't
like
remember.
you're saying he'll...
Elbow pop out of
Yeah.
place on mid-throw.
I threw the other day. I can't remember if it was 74 or 84.
Josh says no way in hell. No way in hell what, Josh?
Be clear, Josh.
He's probably saying no way in hell he'll hit 87.
So take back over, Drew. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Well, I wanted to put Brad in the hot seat.
Yeah. So you told us your background before. You worked for State Farm. You did some electrical. You did roofing.
Correct.
So you've kind of always been in the construction aspect of things.
Yeah, I've tried to stay there, and that's what led me to home inspections. Is it's just a culmination of all those experiences. So it just made it all worthwhile.
So is that what made you get into it? You just wanted to stay. What was one thing that really stuck out with doing home inspections that made you want to get into it?
Well, it's just the investigative approach. Every house is different. Whether you've got new construction or a house built in 1905, I mean, the scope of things you can see in either one of those houses are, everyone looks to home inspectors as experts, and we like to be.
Bullshit.
Well, and we're back.
Who does?
Well, maybe not y'all, but the clients put a lot of faith in us to make sure we give them the information they need to know before making that big investment.
So I've got a question. So, like, if you're watching, did you ever see Homes Inspection?
You
on
talking about?
TV?
You mean homes on homes?
Yeah, or
yes.
something where they would come in there and they would literally tell the house apart, and he would be like, "Damn, the inspector missed this."
Oh,
and
he
that."
ate home inspectors for
He
dinner.
would eat them alive, and I think that's what people think a home inspection is. But really, they're paying you like $300-400 to come in there. How long are you there?
Depending on the size of the house, but it could be anywhere from 2 hours to 4 hours, or unless Drew sends you to one built in 1900 that's 7,000 square
But I mean,
feet.
for you to really find out if there's any major problems, do you need to rip up floors, tear out drywall? I mean,
No. I mean, because there's so many things that will indicate you have something going on. Like, people all the time, like, well, how can I tell if mold's growing in the wall? Well, I mean, the short answer is, unless you're looking inside that wall, you'll never know. But there's other signs to look for. There's water stainings. You can look for seepage of water through the brick on the exterior. You'll have algae growth in shaded areas and things like that. So, I mean, there's other things to look for that may try and indicate that there's a moisture issue going on. And we always, or at least most of us, probably carry a moisture reader that you can sit and just peg a wall that you have a question about.
is there one thing that would cause you to not buy a house personally?
No, I mean, because I think anything, especially coming from insurance, I've seen houses that people are, oh, we're going to tear it down, and that's not always the case. It's time and money. It can fix anything. Most people don't want to hear that, but if you've got the time, you've got the money, you can fix anything that's wrong with the house. So if the house is for the right price and you think you can put the time and the money in it to get it to what you want, then
So there's not one particular thing that you would see, like if you were buying a house, you saw, say,
no. I mean, like my house now, I mean, it has polybutylene pipes in it. It's got bad windows. I mean, I just got it for a good price. I paid $160,000 for it. Now this was
when was that?
2015. But yeah, it made sense at the time. I was willing to put in the work, and
Yeah.
so I mean, I've basically gutted the place now. So it's finally to what I wanted it to be. So.
Yeah. So what are, whenever you go out, what are the main things that you're looking for, whether it be a 1912 house or whether it be a house built in 2018, what are the main things that you're really looking for?
It varies from house to house, and it goes back to, when was the house built? Is there a chance the siding's made of asbestos? Does it have polybutylene piping? Does it have galvanized piping? Knob and tube wiring, fuse wiring. It could, to sit there and say, like, hey, I'm going to this 2007 house with this particular mindset, you just don't want to get into that because you'll miss something else.
And I'm sure, well, how long have you been doing it, home inspections?
So I opened the business in September of 2018.
September to it. So I'm sure you've done so many home inspections that you can check out a house whenever it comes through that you have to do it, see what year it is, and can probably already think of some problems that. So if it was built in the 80s, PEX pipes, stuff like that, I'm sure you already have a good idea of what you're getting into based off the year of a home.
Yeah, I mean, you can go and kind of figure out what problem, there's a specific problem about this in the 60s or a problem like this in the 80s using different things. So it's, you don't want to have like this predetermined mindset of what you're going to find, but you always want to, check the electrical panels. I mean, I've found snakes. I've found all kinds of crazy things inside an electrical panel. So, I mean, you just want to make sure you look at everything because the one time you don't is the one time you'll miss it.
Yeah. What is I know you've done so many, and there's probably nothing that really surprises you anymore. But I know just from doing trades, there's always one job that sticks out. That's you can remember that's the worst.
Yeah, no, I went to.
What is the worst home inspection you've ever been on or ever had to deal with?
I got fleas on it. I was in White County. I was still fairly new. I think I'd only been open maybe a couple months. And I took this inspection. The guy told me about the fleas. What he didn't tell me is that there was dog feces in every room. There was a hole in the master.
Or did you just keep
Man, it was a very interesting home. I mean, they had shingles up the dormers. It took me probably 6 hours to write the report because it was fully custom. If I wanted to talk about any one thing, I had to mention,
Really?
litany of
We
issues.
got a question from Josh Harrell.
Shoot it, Josh.
Is it common to smell mold?
To smell mold? Is it not common? No.
Can you smell mold?
I wouldn't say no. I mean, now you can smell like that musty.
Moisture.
Yeah, I
Does
mean,
that mean there's mold in the house? Like, is that an indication or?
well, first off, we don't like to use the word mold. We try and stay organic growth.
If we're going using it.
It would probably trigger me to do a little more looking in that area if I smelt it. I mean, but it could be caused by a dog. If you have a dog that uses the restroom in the house often, then that one room's going to tend to just have that musty smell on top of the smell of what the dog's
Do you
doing.
ever get people call back if like you ever miss something? Do they call back? What is your stance on that?
It depends on what the question is. I've had one where I paid it.
What if there was mold in the house and you missed it?
It's never happened.
Could it happen?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Human, I mean, those things can happen.
Yeah, I mean it's a limited viewing inspection, so we're
That was my point about the homes inspection or homes on homes or whatever that is.
Yeah.
Like, these people, they treat it like they paid you $1,000 to come in there and pretty much turn their house upside down and look at it when that's not what's going on. What do you mean by it's a limited viewing inspection? What does that mean?
I mean, so I'm not there to take apart the HVAC unit and look at the condensing coils. I'm there to check the function and the safety of it. As far as like a house goes, there's area rugs in most houses. So if something, I'm not there to move your furniture around. I'm not a mover. So I get to what I can get to and inspect it as thoroughly as possible. But no, we're not there to take discovery holes out of drywall, just peer inside the wall cavity or anything like that. So I mean, and if you do commercial property, you're known as an observer. That's your title.
You don't like move boxes. Like if you go in the attic, you don't move anything or.
I wouldn't say anything. I mean, I've definitely moved things around before, but if I open up, I've gone into properties where they're not vacant, people are living in there, and the attic access is in a master closet that is filled to the brim. I'm not going to take the 30 minutes to clear out that closet to try and get in the
So are
attic.
you still liable for that or no?
No,
Something's
you would just
going-
document at that point and let them know that, well, you would let your client know, hey, if you want me to come back when the house is vacant, that closet's cleared out and I can access it, I'll do that. It'll be an additional charge, but as far as getting up in the attic, it just wasn't possible during the inspection.
Gotcha.
I've got another
Tommy?
question. Believe it or not, I've got another one. Have you ever heard people say the house passed or failed inspection?
Yeah, and that's a big misconception that the home inspector is going to give a pass or fail, or that's what, sometimes the buyer will be there while I'm inspecting. And that's the first question as I'm leaving. They're like, did I pass or fail? We don't give pass or fail grades. We simply give the buyer the most information they need to try and make the right choice for what they're about to do. Yeah, there is no pass or fail grade.
Somebody on here,
Look,
somebody named
Lorima?
Jacob Taylor said something bad on here. I don't know about all that. I don't know about what he said.
Where is he?
He's right under Josh's comment.
What
Says
he
something
said?
about two horrible golfers.
Oh.
Oh.
I see Jake. He finally beat me this week, so I'll let him have his moment in the sun.
Jake Taylor, how's it going, man? Hey, like and share the stream, Jake. We'd appreciate
Yeah,
it.
man, I'm trying to get some views.
Yeah, hey, you're next in here.
Do
We
you have a
need to get
question?
you in here.
Hey, we got a lady in the back that's got a
Lorima.
question.
So do you have like a standard checklist of all the things that you make sure you make a point to check?
S-
During the home inspection?
So the software I use is 3D inspection software, and it does a really good job of making sure I can't miss anything. So as I'm going through the inspection, it's basically based off what the software has me looking at, and it's easy to customize. Like if you've got a unique house that may have a bunch of bathrooms. Anyway, it makes it very easy so I don't miss it. In my head, I always like to start at the electrical panel, and then from there, I usually go upstairs and work my way down, checking all the fixtures. So if there was a leak on the upstairs, you'd be able to see it during your inspection on the second floor. But then you save the crawl space for last for that specific reason. So if there was any kind of leaking going on underneath, you'd be able to find it.
Mr. Davidson?
Yes. Like if I had a roof problem, could you come out and look and help me with that and maybe even get my roof replaced? Is that something you could help me with?
Me specifically, yes. Most home inspectors, no.
What's the difference?
Well, I am a sales rep for Pinnacle Construction, and so we sell roofs there, and I just so happen to have tons of knowledge about the insurance industry and their policies.
Does that help you a lot? Do you feel like knowing all the insurance lingo and how that works, does that help you be a better home inspector?
Yeah, just from my time at State Farm, I've seen if it could absolutely go wrong in a house, I've seen it 10 times over. I've seen what skunks can do. I've seen what raccoons can do. I've seen what happens if someone were to get hurt or killed inside a home, what that entails as a biohazard. I've seen a house catch on fire. I've seen one catch on fire on purpose. I've seen it all. I've seen manufactured damage on roofs. I've seen storm damage on roofs. I've seen, bad installations on roofs. I've seen it all. So, short answer, yes.
Do you ever walk into an existing home and you kind of, are there indicators that let you know that this house is going to be a pretty good inspection?
Yeah, just like when you meet someone, just a person in general, like you'll get that first feeling about them. You walk in and there's, trash everywhere, things are kind of cluttered up. Typically that, and it's not to gloss over, like, I'm not saying everyone that's dirty has things going on with their house, but it's just a good indicator that if things are askew and you can tell no one's really taking the time to take care of them, that means they probably also aren't changing out their filters on their AC unit. They probably haven't, updated any of their supply lines or anything like that. Yeah, it's probably a good indication that it lacks a lot of maintenance.
Whenever you check the listing and it says has good bones, it's probably going to be a little rough.
Yeah.
But let's see. So,
We got another question in the back.
Have you
Go
ever
ahead,
had to have like where they're like requesting for like another inspector to come in behind you?
I did speak with someone recently about having me come in behind a second inspector, but if that were to happen, it's probably likely that no one comes to tell me, like, hey, we had another inspector come behind you and check your work. Now, I have done a home inspection. Seller says they got X, Y, and Z fixed. Buyer wants home inspector back out there to check the work that they said they fixed, and sometimes I've found that they didn't do it or just did it in a hurry-up job just to get it through with. And sometimes they've done it right. So
Homeowner special.
yeah, I've seen the duct tape on the
Yeah.
bathroom vents.
I'm sure.
Did my buddy Marty call you yesterday?
No, it was my buddy that was. So I was at a barber.
So Marty didn't want.
Marty was asking for Elvis, which Elvis is the guy who called him.
Yeah, no, I did speak with Elvis.
Well, Marty's a buddy of mine. He pitched in the big leagues.
Okay.
Marty McCleary. You ever heard of him? Journeyman pitcher. I'll tell him you said he sucked.
So I've got a question too. So hypothetically, let's say you missed something and that something ended up causing maybe some damage. Could the owner come back on you and say, well, hey, we paid you to inspect it and you missed this? We want you to pay for it.
That's the reason why home inspectors have people sign those home inspection contracts. If you read through the contract,
Yeah, there's fine print.
it's basically you can sue me for up to what the home inspection cost. So that's how I'm protected in that regard. But like I said, I've only missed one that someone's brought to my attention, and I mean, I just ate it and paid for an HVAC service guy to come out and fix their dry vent.
But I like what you said, it's called a limited viewing, what is it?
It's a limited viewing inspection.
Yeah, I mean, that's all that, and that's what we are to be telling our clients, look, man, this is a limited
Viewing.
inspection. It ain't like that motherfucker on TV that comes in there and
Homes on homes.
homes on homes that,
Tear
tears
it apart.
the house apart, that ain't what Brad's gonna do.
What is your take on radon testing?
So I've probably had, if I've done 300 home inspections, I've had 20 people ask for radon on them, and of those 20, I've had 2 come back that were high readings. My take on them is that, I mean, now there's some very accurate radon tests out there, but a lot of folks use, just kind of the hanging canisters, and there's just a lot of things that can skew those tests, and you can get bad readings. So it would just depend on what the radon test is, who's doing the radon test, and, is it sitting there for 72 hours? Is that a vacant home or an occupied home? Are people in and out? Things of that nature. All that can mess with those readings. I mean, it's important. I mean, people are scared to death of any word that starts with RAD. I mean, like, radon, all that. So
See,
it's more of probably self-comfort to know that your particles per liter, I think is how it's measured, is under that amount, the safe limit to live in. But it's also, there again, even if you have it, you can fix it. I mean, there's companies that solely repair that stuff. So it's just all back to time and money.
Whenever I was selling my house, I got home after they were doing the home inspection, and I had a box sitting right beside my bed. And I was like, well, how is this going to be like an accurate radon test with, me and Samantha coming in and out throughout the day? So, I mean, because this is supposed to be, you're supposed to have the house enclosed, not open doors, to get the most accurate reading on a radon test.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, I subcontract out my radon test
Gotcha.
anyway. So, I mean, to sit here and say I'm the expert on radon, it would just not be true. But I've asked, several questions of the guys that come out and do it, just to try and get a grasp. So when people ask those questions, I can at least answer them.
Well, one thing, with, people doing new construction, going through blue tape walkthroughs, or even just showings, what would you recommend people to be looking for whenever they're doing these blue tape walkthroughs, final walkthroughs,
David, keep going.
Because I feel like people always look for the wrong thing, especially in a new construction home. Most of the people, all they're doing is they're scanning walls. They're trying to find chips in drywall. They're not looking for the, that's a real quick, easy fix, cheap, inexpensive. So what exactly should people be looking for?
And shrink it. I mean, that's what people see are the walls. Did you see that crack over the door? Is a common question. We just live in, it's all stick-built homes.
Mm-hmm.
They expand and contrast over time. I mean, yes, they could be an indicator of something going on, but that's not always the full story.
Yeah.
So it would be hard to sit here and tell because I would have to know what their experience is and what, because it could be someone that has no construction experience, and little things, drywall holes and things of that nature could trigger their questions, when it probably was a nothing. Walking through the house is probably the best thing you can do, because you're going to step on any kind of soft spots that may tell you about any kind of moisture issues. Having the HVAC on, at least running it so you can see, it's called, I think it's dirty sock syndrome that can happen to HVAC units that sit still for a while, so you can smell and see if there's a musty smell inside the unit. But the truth of the matter is, I mean, that's why there's people like me out there, is to do that job for them. So, yeah, it's just hard to kind of base it on something like that.
Absolutely. Well, I just feel like, whenever these people are going through with the blue tape and the new construction, they're so worried about drywall, just that needs to be touched up, just normal stuff that would happen throughout all the trades coming in and out. Someone may drag a drill against the wall, and that's usually like the main concern I see. I don't see many people like checking windows, making sure windows, work,
Open
go
and
up and down, checking HVAC units, make sure it'll heat, make sure it'll cool, stuff like that. I don't see many people doing that. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think it may be a difference in type of buyer. Like someone that's buying the brand new house, well, when you say brand new house, well, I mean, you're going to have that expectation that it's new, so there can't be things wrong with it. It's brand new. So when, some people are like, I'm looking for an old house. So all those things that may have come up are probably questions that are diverted to you on the new house don't come up at all on the old house,
Yeah.
like the nicks in the floor and the whole, scrapes in the drywall. So it's all, everybody's different, man.
Yeah.
You probably know that better than anybody. So
Absolutely. Well, any questions from anyone else?
Ooh,
Hayden, wait your turn, Lorima. What you got?
who's the best home inspector in Middle Tennessee?
it'd be Brad Robinson with I-Spine Inspections.
Cool.
Yeah.
I was just curious.
Autographs are after the show, man.
This is more for the agent, how you were saying, like, as the buyers are walking through, they're more so just looking at the drywall and stuff like that. Is that something that you would advise your buyers?
I usually,
to kinda-
well, a lot of people usually ask, like, what else do I need to look for? I usually tell people to check the windows, and HVAC. I always, for some reason, because I used to do HVAC, I usually recommend people to at least see the air handler come on so you can hear the blower motor and see the condenser come on. So that's usually what I recommend. And, just anything else that you can see cosmetically with the eye, mark it, get it taken care of.
Yeah, it all comes down to preference. Everyone has. I mean, I've had people like, "Hey, make sure you put that scratch on the floor in your report," and it's floor still functions as a floor. It's cosmetic. It's not a finding per se.
Well, Mr. Robinson,
Thank you.
if that's all the questions we have, thank you for coming
I
in,
got a
man.
question.
What you got?
Right now, Brad, do you know, like whenever a client hires you and they want an inspection done, how often are they asking for and getting repairs approved? Do you know that, or?
It's not something that I call and check up on, because most of the time I feel like I made at least the right call. And sometimes it come, especially with this market, like let's say I've had this house that I've inspected, there's an offer in on it, but now you're asking this seller to fix 20 things, and he's like, man, I know I can just back out of this contract and go find someone else that's not going to ask for half that stuff. I mean, you're even seeing, contracts come through that don't even, they're saying, hey, yes, it may be less money, but we're not going to get a home inspection done. And I like my neighbor, that's how he sold his house, because he just didn't want to deal with the hassle of that particular aspect. But my stance is, if you're going to spend $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 on something, you should probably at least have
On your deals, how often are you getting repairs done?
Very recently, very rarely. A lot of the times, I'm getting money instead of repairs.
You're not, wait a minute, okay.
Huh?
I just got to get it understanding people. Oh, yeah.
What was I stuttering?
No, I'm talking with my mouth full of ice cream.
I can decipher now.
But no, what I'm asking, Drew, how often are you seeing customers want a home inspection and then ask for repairs? I mean, just because.
To win offers, like, I know you were talking about pass or fail home inspections, so, usually to sweeten it up a little bit, you either want to do a pass or fail home inspection, not asking for any repairs, or do maybe only main, things over $5,000. That would be your only way out. So,
yeah.
not seeing many repairs being asked for. And most of the time, whenever I get an offer accepted with with a home inspection, a lot of the times people are wanting to ask for, money and do the repairs themselves instead of asking for the repairs.
Yeah, I mean, when people say they're doing them themselves, you see a lot of.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, we're talking about the exact same thing, and you see it repaired 5 different ways.
Absolutely. Well, I think that's.
Is that usually better if you ask for the money? Sorry.
I just feel like it's usually easier on everybody because people wanting to get out. They're not wanting to either fix something or call in someone to have it fixed, and usually the people Because in this, in this market, they're paying closing costs. They're like, we might as well take this money and put it towards our closing costs if we don't have to pay that.
Comes down to like, would you rather have a gift card or cash?
Yeah.
It's everybody's different.
It's like, would you rather pull out money and, pay for your closing costs, or just have these little minor repairs? Just pay some of my clothing.
Well, did you see that there's a Santina on here?
Santina, how are you? Thank you for getting on.
And then Avia Jean Kelly. Avia.
Miss Avia. Thank you, everybody, for getting on. Jake Taylor, I will see you at the golf course sometime. I'll have to come beat up on you.
Hey, I got a question.
Just get them angry, man.
What you got?
So for the people at home
Just getting his head.
and the millions that are watching, how would they contact my man Brad Robinson at I Spy Inspection? How do we get in contact with you, Brad?
So there's several
What is
ways.
your Tinder handle?
I do not. I have a wife. Sorry, ladies.
Me too. I forgot my
Let's hook up on Tinder.
forgot my ring today.
But you can go to my Facebook page. There's a direct link to my website. My website, you can even, you can book an appointment on that website, or you can just call me 615-828-2617, and that's my direct cell and my work phone. So you'll
Say
get
that
me.
one more time. Use it a little quick.
615-828-2617.
Brad the Man Robinson, I Spy Inspection.
Man, thank you for coming on.
Thanks
Great
for having
show
me,
today.
man. Yeah, dude. It's,
Great show, great show.
thank you all.
Every Wednesday we're here for Real Estate 101. Y'all come in next week, see us. We'll be here live at 8:30 in the morning for the morning grind. Y'all have a great rest of your day.
Take care.